A good way to develop a social media strategy is to think of your own social media channels as your own private TV network for your brand or who you are. You're the director of programming. Whether you're on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube, you're in control of what goes on your network. When I worked as a television producer for ESPN, there was a phrase used commonly, and I know it's used in other categories too, like politics and publishing. You have to feed the beast, and the beast is always hungry. How do television networks decide to feed the beast? Well, let's look at ESPN as an example. You've probably watched at least one show on one of the ESPN networks. Have you ever wondered why they program certain shows at particular times? Why they run news and information programming or talk shows, as well as live Major League Baseball and SEC football games? They're feeding the beast, and it's all based on their audience and what they've told ESPN they want to watch. Viewers tell them through ratings, but the network also does a tremendous amount of research and testing to see what they can offer the audience that they will like. Did you know that some television programs get tested by a method known as dial testing? This is an intense type of focus group where people watch TV and actually continuously give feedback in real time as they watch. They record whether they like or dislike the content by moving a control left or right. That's how important it is to networks to understand what their viewers want to watch. So, thinking of our social media channels as our own private television network, many of us probably can't afford focus groups or dial testing, but the feedback we get from our followers can work in the same way for us. Okay, as we think about how to program our own private television network, let's think about what it is that people dislike most about watching TV shows now. Commercials. We don't want to program our own private TV network with mostly commercials. That's why a lot of us are cutting the cable cord and networks are scrambling to figure out what to do about it because we don't want to watch commercials. If your social media is filled with only you promoting a product or service or something you want someone to buy, then you're running mostly commercials. Instead, let's think about what kind of TV shows people like. Our people, meaning fans of the outdoors and fishing, like to watch fishing shows, of course. But more specifically, most of us like to watch fishing shows that teach us how to be better anglers. How-to shows. Listen, DIY or how-to shows are as natural a fit for fishing brands as they are for cooking. And there's a lot of cooking shows out there. I was a producer for ESPN Outdoors for years, and some of the best rated shows were those that taught people how to fish. In fact, I produced a show called Bassmaster University that was all about tips and techniques, and people still ask me about that show today. It was like 15 years ago. Another type of show that people like to watch is programming about seemingly normal people in unusual circumstances. Reality shows. Listen, people love watching real people in their lives. Some reality shows are just awful, but they're like train wrecks you can't help but looking at. Other reality shows like The Amazing Race are not overly dramatic or embarrassing, but still just as popular because they show us how people think and make decisions when they're under stress. So what could your own reality show look like? Okay, who are the people in your life that you can introduce? What do you do when you're not on the water? How do you spend your evenings or your mornings? Who do you look for advice? And who's in your circle that keeps you laughing? It's only human to be curious about the lifestyle of other people, especially people we envy or admire. Reality shows let us look behind the scenes at people's lives and hey, that's what's made Facebook and Instagram successful. We all get a glimpse of our friends' lives. So think of some of your own television network as your own reality show. Only you don't have to be over the top like the Kardashians. You control the story, and believe me, your story is interesting to other people. Another type of television show that people really like, are game shows. So how could we make a game show? Contests. Okay, before we go on, think about all the daytime game shows that have been on the air for decades. The Price is Right started in 1956. Jeopardy has been on the air for 36 years, and it's taped over 9,000 episodes. Some networks even air game shows in their most valuable prime time air schedule. So you could do contests through giveaways or contests where you have fans guess something like the weight of a fish or trivia questions. There's hundreds of ways you can do contests. A great benefit of doing contests is that it promotes engagement with your followers. They have to actually engage with you to play. And interaction is engagement, and high engagement helps the social media algorithms hear and understand that your content is something they should show to others. Engagement is a critical metric of your social media, regardless of how many followers you have. Many people watch TV to relax and escape the stress of their day. So they like to watch sitcoms. They like to laugh. How could we make people laugh? Comedy. Comedy could be funny things you say or funny things your pets do or a funny meme or how bad your buddy is singing in the truck. Now, you don't have to be Dave Chappelle or the marvelous Mrs. Maisel to share funny things. Everybody likes to laugh or at least smile, and you can figure out ways to make that happen. Of course, one of the absolute most important types of TV shows that make up so much programming on the air is sports. How could you program sports? Well, this is the easy one, right? Competition. You probably already feature a good bit of content about competition in the form of tournaments and everything you love or hate about competing, and you want to keep doing that. It just might be helpful to think of it as one of the genres on your network instead of the entire lineup. If you think of your social media channel as your own private television network with different types of programming, you can also plan to mix in commercials with all of these shows. So maybe you post about how to rig a drop shot and then a funny meme about the boat ramp before you sprinkle in a commercial or a promo about a product. Keeping up with your social media channels can be exhaustive. We always have to feed the beast. And it's easy to think of this content as strictly an opportunity to sell. But we need to engage our followers with other interesting content. And dreaming up that content can sometimes leave you feeling hesitant about what should I be sharing. Try thinking of it as a TV network. And you might just get new ideas every evening when you sit down to Netflix and chill. See you next time, y'all.